All rise. Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1030, Armstrong case.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong.
Yes, Miss Judge.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Miss Tally over here, we decided to have a baby together, about 3 years ago. And we got a divorce. And now I just need her to pay some child support.
Okay. Well, you guys are going through a divorce, right?
Well, yes, sorry, we're going through a divorce. I wish it was over already. But, I've been paying health care for a long time, about ever since the baby was born.
How much is the health care?
It's $111 a month.
Okay.
This baby is 2 years old. We've been together for about 3 years, and I just, that's a lot of money.
Okay, people, let's examine another fascinating instance involving child support. Mrs. Armstrong approaches her ex-partner, Miss Tally, to request child support for their 2-year-old son, Alex. She explains that she has been paying for the child's health insurance and wants Miss Tally to make a financial contribution. But Miss Tally has a different viewpoint and wants more time with their son than just financial obligations. The judge carefully notes the conflict between parenting time and financial obligation, setting the stage for a contentious but reasonable discussion. Let's see how this plays out.
And you want her to pay child support?
And I need that money.
Okay, she needs that money. You don't want to pay that money?
No, ma'am. Instead, I want to spend time with this child. She's not allowing me to see my son, Alex, for the last year and a half.
Okay.
I mean, I have an amazing 2-year-old son that I'm being denied access to see. And I do not believe that I should be paying child support. Rather than I should be able to spend time with my son and actively be in his life.
Okay. Is there a reason you have not been allowing her to see Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, Judge, I feel like time is not money. And,
Well, stop. Hold on. It's not money.
Mm-hmm.
But you would agree with me that she is the mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. And would you want for her to deny you access to Alex?
Well, it would be
It's a yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So, you do not have a reason to not allow her to see her son.
But she doesn't help me take care of my son.
Now, financially, we'll get to that in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to have a choice if the child is living with you primarily. Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how often do you allow her to see him at all?
No.
Okay. Now that's going to change today. You do not have any authority to do that. You do not have it both ways. You can't say, I want her to pay this money, but at the same time, I don't want her to see our son. It doesn't work like that.
Well, once she starts paying me some money, then she can also start seeing the son.
Well, they don't go together.
Okay.
But the possession to a child has nothing to do with paying child support. You do not decide that. You understand? Okay, because in a different court, you could actually be held in contempt for that if you all had a court order and you were denying her access to your son. You understand that, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Mrs. Armstrong presents her argument. She has been their son Alex's primary caretaker and has been contributing $111 a month to his health insurance. She wants Miss Tally to begin paying child support since she is upset that she hasn't made any financial contributions. The judge listens intently as Mrs. Armstrong acknowledges that she has been preventing Miss Tally from seeing their son for the previous year and a half, highlighting the conflict between parenting time and financial obligation. When the judge calls out Mrs. Armstrong for prioritizing money over co-parenting, the drama intensifies as Miss Tally gets ready to defend herself.
Now, as for you, you'll be able to see your son, but you do understand that you have to pay child support as well.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do not have any objection to paying child
ma'am.
support. Okay, so you heard that, right? Okay, all right. So it seems like money is what's important to you, not necessarily her having a relationship with the child. That's right?
Yes.
And that's sad. And it's very sad that you admitted it. Okay, so you turned in some tax returns up here. I have your gross at $6,000 a year. And how many children? It's just Alex,
It's
right?
just one. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children outside of Alex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So that brings your net down to $4,789.79 for one child. And then you do have to reimburse her health insurance because she's
Absolutely.
been paying it. You're okay with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't really have a choice. So, okay. Plus the 111 comes out to $1,069 a month.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about
No,
that?
ma'am, it's Judge.
Okay. Why do you have this smirk on your face?
Oh, I like those numbers. Judge Rondo. Judge Rondo.
Sad. She's not going to have to come back in here and say, you know, she's not letting me see my child or anything like that, is she?
So when she sees the child, do I have to be
no.
around?
That's a no, because you're not going to do that, right? You're going to let her see the child.
Do I have to be around her when she comes? She has to come pick the child up, like for a weekend.
Yeah. However she picks him up.
Miss Tally takes the initiative and argues that she would rather to spend more time with their son Alex than merely pay child support, since she believes Mrs. Armstrong is abusing money to restrict their child's access, and the judge doesn't agree, reminding Miss Tally that parenting time and child support are two different matters. The judge also cautions Mrs. Armstrong that there may be legal repercussions if they are denied contact to their kid. The strain between the two parents as they try to establish common ground is evident, as Miss Tally stresses that she is willing to make a financial contribution, but also wants to be involved in Alex's life.
I mean, you guys have a child, so you should be able to be cordial with each other to some extent. You don't have to necessarily like each other, but
It has
you
to
do
be
need
able
to
to
let her
benefit the
see.
child.
Huh?
It has to be able to benefit the child. I mean, you have to look at Alex's best interest in his life. He needs both of his moms in his life. You can't just deny one.
What's the
I agree
least
with that.
of amount of time that I can let her spend with my child?
You know what? We're not going to go there. You're going to let her see him. And that's the end of it. You have your money, right?
Yes.
Okay, then. So do you have any other questions? All right. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
As the case comes to a close, the judge considers the legal principles at play in Texas, which state that child support and parenting time are two different matters, and that refusing a kid access can have major legal repercussions. The judge also emphasizes the value of co-parenting and prioritizing the interests of the child, reminding viewers that court orders are mandatory and that evading accountability only harms the kids. After all, these children are raised in child support court, and every decision they make affects their future. The judge's closing remarks, which combine tough love and accountability, urge parents to put their children first. If you know someone in a similar situation, share their story.